Hello, I'm Juliet McGrattan. Thank you for joining us for the latest 261 Fearless Empowerment Talk. 261 Fearless is a global network which uses running to unite and empower women all around the world. And we're just passionate about using exercise to improve the health and well-being of women from all backgrounds and all cultures. And we place a strong emphasis on education and using our global platform to educate women. So we've designed our series of empowerment talks to talk to influential, high-profile women from the world of business, sport, those in leadership roles, so that we can be inspired by them, learn from them, and be motivated by them too. Now, I'm really looking forward to chatting to today's guests, Helena and Feven Yohannes. Now, they are founders of the beauty company 241 Cosmetics. They're joining us today from Los Angeles, where they now live and work. But I know that their journey to this point hasn't been easy. And originally they arrived in the United States as political refugees from Eritrea. And I can only imagine the fear that they've had to overcome and work through to get to the success they are today. So Helena, Feven, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having us. And thank you for that amazing introduction and everything that you guys are doing to inspire and empower women.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, together is better, isn't it?
Absolutely. We thrive together.
Now I'm just going to jump straight in so that we can kind of just get to the meat of this really. And as I said, I know you arrived in America as refugees. Why? How did you decide to start your own business?
Wow, that's a really incredible question. And the why really comes from, we believe, our upbringing and the incredible truth that our parents gave us the ability to dream. We were born in a refugee camp in Sudan, a very just desolate area, and we won this green card lottery to come to the United States. We were raised in Rochester, New York, which we love, and it's a very cold place, but it was, you know, they talk about culture shock, but there's also weather shock too, because we went from the desert to really cold, and learning about and being a part of an environment that very different, but it taught us very young that we can adapt and really pick up on experiences and people and culture. And growing up, we didn't have very much, but we saw our parents really take whatever they had and make it possible for us to dream. Mm-hmm. So the why is really, it's honoring our ancestors and our parents and thanking them for this ability to have the strength and the courage to say, hey, we can do this. And the how is really a lot of focus and a lot of the real truth that it's not easy for people like us to create businesses because of outside factors, but we can do this as a form of solidarity and as a form of hope. And I just want to add to what Helena was saying. So we always say that our story began before we were ever born. Our mother and father actually walked from Eritrea to Gibra, Sudan to seek refuge. Wow. And I remember asking my father one day what that was like. And the way that he described it was, you know, he had a great big smile on his face. He said, you know, it's like walking from LA to San Francisco. And I don't know if you understand. So that's
I don't know what it is.
UK, but it's a very, very long distance. I mean, it's as runners, you know how that is to run very long. It's probably like 5 marathons or something like that. I mean, 10 marathons. I don't know how. I mean, that's hundreds, and I think it's thousands of miles. But I really believe that experience, even though Helena and I were not born then, my mother was actually pregnant with our older brother Tomas, so she did that while, you know, being pregnant. It really built, I think it embedded within our DNA a mental tenacity, and we were almost born fearless. I mean, my parents they were literally forced to leave their country, and they had to walk from Eritrea to Sudan. It's extraordinary, actually.
And then your mum gave birth to twins in the refugee camp.
Yes,
mm-hmm. You were born fearless.
Yes, right. She was fearless too. I mean, she had no choice. I mean, fear is not an option here. And so she was literally, my sister came out first, and 15 minutes later, I came out, and it's a hut made of mud and grass, very limited resources, and you just have to tap within and just give life. It's pretty incredible.
I mean, she did this without any, pain, epidurals, like anesthesia, nothing.
There was no medicine to alleviate any of the pain. And she's a small woman. She's 5 feet, maybe at that time 120 pounds, with twins. Yeah, fear is fearless. Yes, the fear has no choice. Yeah, she had no choice to be strong. And our father is so incredibly, I have to say that he is the first feminist we've ever known. I mean, he's the first feminist we've ever known. And he has instilled a confidence and resilience, or I should say encouraged a confidence and resilience within my mother, because she's always had it. And he was outside, the camp waiting with what they thought was going to be a big boy, but it ended up being 2 girls.
So
can you believe it?
I mean, you've taken that fear or fearlessness and that resilience and used it in your own careers now. What's been the kind of most challenging part of your business journey?
I mean, Helena always says, we in our two-person meetings, that we look at the obstacles as opportunities, and we look at the challenges as a way to grow and to come up with better solutions. I would say for us as founders or business women, I think the biggest hurdle is receiving capital injection investment from investors, I would say. And also being, go ahead. Yeah, and also being women of color and in this space. And I mean, how many Black founders do you know, or business women that are in the cosmetic industry who have their own cosmetic brands, who are saying, okay, because we felt at one point that we were excluded from making those decisions, meaning from huge conglomerates who have the power to make decisions based on things that instinctually they don't know what it's like to be a woman of color. And it was just kind of an interesting position to be in. And I think that's one of the reasons why we formed our company 2-for-1 Cosmetics, because we wanted to be the brand that we didn't see in the world. So I think the biggest challenge is, I'm just sorry, I don't want to cut her off, but I'm like, okay, I think I said that. I think as anyone who's in a space that is quote oversaturated, or people will tell you that don't have really any expertise to say, like, oh yeah, there's a ton of makeup brands out there. There's a ton of people who are doing X, Y, and Z. Do you have the expertise? Do you have the skill set? Do you have a background in this? The number one hurdle I would say as being a founder is believing in yourself, and really that is something that there's exterior factors out there that will encourage you to not believe in yourself. There's almost toxic energy out there because people either are not are too afraid to dream, or too don't know their own value. So having that resilience, I can do this. There will be challenges, but to keep this, to quiet the noise, is the number one challenge of being a founder, period. And I think just in life, I mean, it's one of the number one challenges in life, is to really quiet the noise around you and to listen to that inner voice and to really bet on yourself. Oh, that's so true. Yeah.
Good. Great answer.
We know. We both know.
Yeah. And a very quick highlight so far?
Oh, there's one that we really want to share, but we can't share, hopefully.
Okay.
The highlight of, I know, it's so big, but Bobby Brown being a mentor of ours is definitely a highlight. But to be really honest with you, we value human connection so much. And during this time, we've had the ability, using these social media channels, to actually connect with women. So I think connecting with a customer has been the ultimate highlight of this journey. Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. Yeah, but also Bobby Brown, asking a mentor us was a pretty big thing. Yeah, it was a
amazing
big deal.
Yeah.
Because our brand philosophies align, and it's interesting because Helena connected with her through Instagram. Wow. So connection is huge. Yeah.
So here's a question. You know, makeup can be criticised as a way for women to sort of hide themselves and not present the real them, like they're putting on your face. How do you respond to that criticism?
Well, we're big on the actual truth that makeup is actually a meditative process. We actually don't think it's about hiding. It's about enhancing and advancing your features, but really enhancing your features. So we say at 241, always enhance, never conceal. We actually do have a resistance to the overdone look. That's part of the reason we created 241 was to
A reaction
to the time. But in a world full of trends, dare to be classic. Beauty for us is actually self-care. It's actually a meditative process. It's the one time you're looking at an unfiltered version of yourself in the mirror after workout, you know, after you get that post-workout skin too. It's really nice. And can, you know, take the time for yourself. What are you telling yourselves? This, we're very intentional about the names of the products. We name things like honor, muse, class act, redemption. We were very mindful of that because people talk about toxic products, but there's also
we do have clean products. But
yeah. So our products are paraben free, they're cruelty free, they're non-comedogenic, which we're very conscientious about that. But being but makeup is actually really meditative, and it's really about taking the moment for yourself to put on a little eyeliner, and it's also just a form of just protest in a way too, just to live in your skin fully. It's not as vain as everybody thinks.
It's not to us. It's not a frivolous thing, and Helena's absolutely right. We were intentional about naming the products and also the product descriptions. So role model is you are the most influential, but the subtext behind it is you are the most influential person you will ever meet. So it was our way of trying to connect with that woman and tell her that she's incredible. We were literally using makeup as a vessel to empower and inspire her. And, you know, in terms of, you were mentioning criticisms or in the beauty industry in general, I mean, we're kind of seeing a shift, but a lot of the things that we saw were these anti-aging, and it was our birthday yesterday, and we have seen it as it is an honor for us to be able to grow a year older, because not a lot of people have had that chance. So literally the diction and the words behind our brand is a response to a lot of advertisement that we see that are just unrealistic, unattainable versions of yourself. And we're saying, no, this is just enhancing what you already have. You are incredibly beautiful. But I think what's even more important is like Helena was saying, with self-care and self-love and how you take care of yourself within. And our products are clean, but also the toxic messages that we're seeing right now.
That's good. Segue. So yeah. I have to jump in because when you said that, we tend to talk over each other, so we're trying really hard not to do that. But but just to piggyback on exactly, there's so much people talk about toxic chemicals and products, but we're actually exposed to toxic mindsets too, and so that's why we're so intentional about the naming of the products. It's twofold for us. It's a mantra in a way, but it's also it's a form of support. It's a support system. Our makeup brand is literally it's a premium support system, and it is a reaction to the beauty industry. And the beauty industry can be superficial. Our brand 241 really is about enhancing and showing you the best, supporting the best version of yourself. That's what it is. It's really supporting the best version of you.
What's your vision? What's your vision for your business?
Oh gosh, global expansion. Yeah, global expansion is our business. We really look forward to being in Africa. Yeah, and we look forward to being in England, the UK as well. But yeah, we definitely want to create storefronts on the continent, starting with Accra, Ghana, and Lagos, Nigeria. We think that there's a huge market opportunity there, and it's really important for us. We have been incredibly transparent. We are our ancestors' wildest dreams, and we want to take these lessons and bring it back home to the continent. And so eventually, we want to get there.
I'm sure you will. Can I ask you, being sisters and running a business together, how's that? How do you divide up the work?
Well, we should give you the background on the name 241 as being twin sisters in particular.
Mm-hmm.
And Feven came up with the name, and I thought it was absolutely genius because I hadn't seen numbers for the brand before, makeup brand it is. You hadn't seen it before. You guys are 261 for a different reason.
Isn't that incredible?
And we're 241. How funny is that? And I thought it's interesting because 6 is an even number and 2 is an even number as well. I'm sorry, 4 is an even number as well. So I just think it's really harmonious in a way.
Yeah.
But working together, it's definitely a blessing, and I feel very lucky that we can speak to each other very frankly.
She's laughing. But wait, actually, should we explain the name 241 and why? I know that Helena.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
so the name 241, and obviously I love the story of 261. You know
that name.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. But so 241, growing up as twins, people would constantly joke and say, "Are you guys 24FOR1?"
Mm-hmm.
And
mm-hmm.
my father instilled a lesson within us that we carry today, in which is there is no discount on your self-worth. So people would jokingly say that, but there's a deeper, you know what I mean? There was a weird, deeper meaning when they were saying that was actually unhealthy. We were like, obviously we're now 241. And then growing up as twins, there's constant comparisons. People would say, stand next to each other. Who's the mean twin? Who's the kind twin? Who's the smart twin? Who's the one who likes the pretty stuff? And it was just these strange, or
who's the mean twin?
Yeah, it was such a weird thing. And my dad was like, okay, first of all, these comparisons are not healthy. And he's like, but if you want to be beautiful and smart, you can be both. He's like, it was just such a strange thing. But anyway, as we got older, we carry those lessons and experiences, and there's subtle nuances on the site, but there are things we blatantly say. We're saying women can be both. You can be brains and beauty, especially in a weird social media time where people are, it seems like they're being acknowledged more for the exterior. And we're saying, okay, you can be that, but you can definitely, be a woman of substance as well. So brains and beauty, 241.
But working together has been a real blessing and a real gift. And I think that having someone that you can talk to frankly about business decisions, and when you have when your philosophies are so aligned, it's a good thing. Some people might call it groupthink. We don't think about it we don't say that, but we don't agree on everything. There's times where we just don't agree on things, and we have to discuss it. But in terms of like working and operational things tend to be me, and then creative stuff tends to be Feven.
And if you do have a disagreement, how do you resolve that? Do you just leave
rock,
paper alone,
scissors, or right? Rock, I'm making a joke.
Well, we do.
Rock, paper, scissors.
So we actually have Helena and I don't really fight, but we have one friend who's also a twin. It's funny. So sometimes if we're literally not aligned with something, we'll reach out to our advisor friend.
Yeah. She's our referee.
Right. Well, what do you think about this? And she's really incredible in terms of that, Carolyn, our friend.
But really, we talk.
Yeah.
We don't yell. Yeah. But we really talk it out, and
we go on these walks a lot too. Right? Let's just go on a walk and we'll just talk. It's easier for us to work it out when we're literally working out.
Because I know that you both run.
Oh my gosh.
And how's running helped you in your life?
It's made me sane, honestly. Running for us has just really brought clarity to really uncertain times, and especially now, the gyms are still not open in LA. And that's really incredibly difficult because we love the treadmill and we live downtown. So it's not as easy to run outside that we run outside. It's not the best experience, but it's this thing that we have to do to keep our head straight. It just absolutely gives us clarity.
So running, Helena and I have been running since we were in high school, and our high school friend Rachel Perry now introduced us to running. And isn't that interesting? So that someone introduces you to running, but
I thought Dad did. Dad ran a lot.
Oh, my father did too, but Rachel was the one who really got me to run.
Dad.
And because our father is our father still runs. I think he's like, what, 68, and he still does. Yeah, he still runs 5 miles 5 days a week.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
He runs a lot. Yeah.
Yes. And for us, okay, so what's really funny, and Helena and I haven't shared this with a lot of people, but we actually wrote our website copy while we were running.
Yeah.
I know it sounds, so it actually,
our best ideas come when we're running.
Yeah. And so we call it flow state. So I'm literally writing stuff in my head while I'm running. Especially, and that's why I prefer a treadmill versus, I know a lot of people prefer running outside. For me, like I prefer, especially downtown LA, the environment is not really conducive for running.
I run it a lot outside. I don't like it at all downtown. But it's nice with the, when you're out, I like to hike too. I love doing hikes. But running is 100% the place where I feel actually the happiest.
Yeah.
I feel the happiest when I run, and especially after I get off the treadmill, you get that runner's high, and you know, my skin feels the best when I'm running afterwards. I like the results, but it's really the more clarity. It reduces stress, anxiety. I mean, there's so much that we're taking in on the daily, unconsciously and consciously, and it's a great source of just release. It's a great place to come up with ideas. But also, it's very strange, but I tend to listen to one song. I don't know if you do it too anymore. I tend to listen to one song on repeat as I run because it helps me go into flow state. And so I go into, it's a form of meditation for me.
And you know what's amazing? Because Helena and I generally love to work out. We love to run. But being entrepreneurs, I mean, this whole journey is a mental marathon. And so it makes a lot of sense for us that we are, that we love to run, because this journey has been, it's an interesting journey, and we're so grateful. But we really don't know where we're going, but we know we're going together. We're going far.
And I agree with you. It's an arduous journey, and you feel crazy as entrepreneurs. You're like, okay, is this going to happen? You're just constantly, persevering. And that is correct. It is a mental marathon. And to run, it's a really good, honestly, it's a good pill for being an entrepreneur. It really is.
Yeah, interesting that you say you have your best ideas and you're more creative when you're on the run. I guess that's really helpful in your work.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. We come up with copy that way, visuals that way. It helps us. It sometimes reminds me to do things when I'm running. Like I'll literally have pop-up thoughts.
Just come into your head.
But also,
pop-up thoughts. Yeah.
But also, beauty is also about staying healthy, and running is a form. I mean, there's so many health factors to running. So, that's also, something that we'll eventually expand on one day. Because Helena and I, our mentor Bobby said we should write a book, and Helena and I really want to talk about health, wellness, fitness. Yeah, it's not a vacuous thing. It's self-care, and it's
Oh yeah, beauty always starts from within first.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's always coming from within. So it's true. I don't know if you notice this, but I'm sure you will. Notice your skin after you're running. It's a beautiful dewiness that you can buy in a bottle sometimes, at a beauty shop. But to really produce that inside your body and it sustains itself is really the best feeling.
She's right. Now we're seeing products that are giving you the dewy skin.
I'm like,
but as runners, you know how it is.
Yeah, I'm like, just go run outside, get the blood going,
or even do a nice power walk, do something, move.
Yeah, you get that. It's a glow that you can't reproduce, isn't it?
Exactly. Helena's like, they put it in a bottle, but it's funny. You can't quite. But it is true, actually. Dewy skin is really in right now.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just amazing to hear what you've achieved and your journey through life, really. And I'm sure lots of the people watching will be really sort of inspired by that. And if you had to give them one piece of advice to a woman who's watching, who maybe has a dream that they want to follow, but perhaps lacks the courage to do it, what would your advice be?
Helena, you want to start? Or go ahead. Sorry.
I would say, obviously, trust the process, be intentional, but more importantly, you have to believe that your potential is far greater than any problem that you will face. I truly, truly believe that. And somewhere, and I want women to know that you will experience hiccups along the way. But you have to really believe that your potential is bigger than any problem you'll encounter.
Oh, I love that.
Mm.
So I'm just gonna,
Yeah.
I was like, I love that. Courage is something that you earn. It really is. And now is the time. It is the best time. There's never been a better time to go after something as a woman, to really grab it and to really go hard at it. Is the best time. So I just want to say, I salute anyone who has a vision. I just highly encourage you to do it now, because it is the most incredible time to do it. And courage is something that is earned. I say courage, something earned. Just go for it. You will mess up. Things will happen. But what's so incredible about courage is that ability to look back and say, oh my gosh, I went through something that I thought was so horrible, and look at me now. Mm-hmm. It really is an incredible gift to be courageous, but it is really something that is earned. It's really a coat of armor, and go for it. Please, you'll be so surprised by what the universe has, and trusting the process is so important. But really, the universe does favor people who do go big, that who are bold, and who do it with such integrity and grace.
Mm-hmm.
So, and watch when you truly believe and have faith and do the work. Miracles will really unfold, and you just have to trust the process. So, I mean, here we are sitting here talking with you. So,
yeah, we're very lucky. A few years ago, I don't think anybody wanted to hear about us. Like, okay, here are the twins with another makeup brand, you know, and we had to kind of quiet that. But then a lot of incredible things happened for us that we didn't even dream of. The universe had a bigger vision for us. Mm-hmm. Anything that we thought of, when we continued to bet on ourselves, bigger things happened.
Yeah.
That I don't think we could have thought of. Like, I don't even, it's Bobby is our mentor, being featured in Style, Yahoo's approaching us, and then something that's kind of, we can share in like a month or so, that is pretty remarkable. It feels like a miracle, honestly.
Yeah. And you asked the question about highlights. We all, I should also add that our store sold out 3 different times during the pandemic. And we're seeing, unfortunately, we're seeing other companies, Black-owned companies in particular, who have really been hurt because of this global pandemic. So I just wanted to say that was definitely a highlight, that people were, and by the way, our brand is for everybody, our company is for everyone. So we're seeing all different backgrounds and ethnicities purchasing our products. And the universal message is really to inspire. Helena says it best: we're inspiring women one eyeliner at a time. And I know. So we're doing it one eyeliner. It's true. I don't want to say, a lot of businesses have been affected, not just Black-owned businesses, but a lot of businesses have been affected. And we're very excited for just the amount of support that we've been receiving, and people who wear our products, at really quality products, and they're really incredible. And the reviews are incredible, and we're here. We hope that when you wear 241, that you feel us as founders and as businesswomen, but you really just see the possibilities out there, and that things can happen for you. That if we can be a symbol or a beacon of hope, that is the ultimate goal with 241.
Wow. Well, it's so amazing to hear your story, and putting on an eyeliner will never be the same again listening to that. So thank you so much, Helena and Feven, for sharing that. And I know people watching will have found that really inspiring and helpful, and be going off now to set their challenges and their new goals with a little bit less fear. So thank you very, very much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for this opportunity. And I know that we know Catherine's story, and I just wanted to thank her too, because what she did was incredibly fearless. And there are parallels in our struggles, So yeah, we're just grateful for
absolutely.
Her.
I would like to end on this note. I'm able to dream partly because of my parents, but partly because I have a twin sister, and we have an incredible support system together. When going after your dream it's very scary, And I will never fully understand what it's like not to do that with a twin sister. It's the best gift in the world. But with 2 for 1, we can be your third twin. Honestly, just know. People are joking, like, we'll be your third twin. It's so funny. We'll be your third twin.
Oh, thank you. Great. Thanks, you two. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.